Now, first and foremost, disclaimers out of the way. First, when I first seen some of the details that came out on this, it's like, oh, okay, one Clinton-related attorney was doing something against the Trump campaign. It's like, you spent all the money in order to figure that shit out, and could have told you that for a long time, okay? A bunch of different governments and a bunch of different actors would be trying to subvert a campaign, okay? I don't necessarily know what that was all about, but those were preliminary findings. And again, once we get into more of this stuff, don't be thinking that this is going to be a huge fucking bombshell. Don't be thinking that this is anything more than it really is. This is just an affirmation of something that we've known for quite a long time. But at least it's in writing. And what happens with this, maybe it spurns an inquiry or a committee past the 2022. I don't really know for sure, okay? And I don't even know all of the details on this one. So it might end up being a whole bunch of information, a whole bunch of digging, a whole bunch of, I don't know, funny names for investigations, just all for naught, really. So don't get your hopes up too high, okay? Hillary Clinton's not going to be doing the fucking perp walk out of Chappaqua, okay? None of these big political heads are going to roll, okay? We'll see what we have here, and, I don't know, try to read the tea leaves on what's going to be going on in the future, shall we? So, according to Crossfire Hurricane, the John Durham probe, the guy who's taken for fucking ever to do anything, has found out that Democrats, which ones exactly? Okay, by just saying things like Democrats paid, okay, you need to be specific, and I'm sure he does, but it's just a headline, so okay, to infiltrate, whatever that means, Trump White House servers. Okay, so, did they have that blue ass go in there, okay, to fiddle around with some shit in order to, quote-unquote, infiltrate White House servers to collect information? Like, what are we doing here, okay? Special counsel John Durham's team alleged on February 12th that the tech executive aligned with the Democratic Party was paid to spy on former President Donald Trump's residence and the White House when Trump was president. Okay. Lawyers for the Clinton campaign allegedly paid the technology executive to infiltrate the servers at Trump Tower and the White House. What did they discover, though? Okay. Durham said in the court filings, in order to establish an interference and narrative to tie Trump to the Russian government. Okay. Durham's office made claims as part of his investigation that had brought charges against Michael Sussman, a lawyer. This was the one thing that came out. Okay, Michael Sussman, a lawyer who worked on behalf of the DNC committee and Hillary Clinton's campaign in 2016, and whom currently charged with making a false statement to the FBI. He did all this stuff, and what did he do? Perjured himself to the FBI, which, again, I wouldn't necessarily hold anything against him, because this is the FBI, after all. Durham alleged Sussman had assembled and conveyed the allegations to the FBI on behalf of at least two specific clients, including a technology executive, Tech Exec 1, and, at a US-based internet company, Internet Company 1. Okay, cool, I'm sure those names were just redacted. And the Clinton campaign, according to the section of the court filing titled A Factual Background. Billing records he obtained suggest that Sussman repeatedly billed the Clinton campaign for his work on the Russian Bank 1 allegations, and that the unnamed technology executive met and communicated with Mark Elias. Okay, that's like the head of the Clinton campaign lawyers. A left-wing lawyer and operative who has filed numerous election-related lawsuits on behalf of the Democrats for 2020 as well as 2016. Sussman previously pleaded not guilty and accused Durham of acting in a politically motivated manner. Okay. Tech Executive 1 also enlisted the assistance of researchers at a US-based university who were receiving and analyzing large amounts of internet data in connection with a pending federal government cybersecurity research contract, Durham's filing states. The executive also tasked these researchers to mine internet data to establish an interference and narrative tying then candidate Trump to Russia. So try to find anything that could link Trump to Russia. Okay. The filing states, adding that the technology firm that the executive worked for had come to access and maintain dedicated servers for Trump's executive office. Tech Executive 1 and his associates exploited the arrangement by mining the EOP's DNS traffic and other data for the purposes of gathering derogatory information about Trump. Okay. So again, spying on and tapping the servers. It seems like it could be criminal wrongdoing, but I don't know where Russia ties into this one specifically. Derp, reading ahead a little bit. Durham further wrote that Sussman provided an updated set of allegations, including Russia Bank 1 data, and additional allegations related to Trump to another federal agency that isn't the FBI. Claims that Sussman provided in a meeting in February 2017 relied on the purported DNS traffic that Tech Executive One and others had assembled pertaining to the Trump Tower, Donald Trump's New York City apartment building, and EOP, and the aforementioned healthcare provider. All right. Sussman, his court filings added, providing data which he claimed reflected purportedly suspicious DNS lookups by the entities of Internet Protocol address affiliated with a Russian mobile phone provider in February of 2017 meetings. Sussman also said such DNS lookups demonstrated that Trump and or his associates were using supposedly rare Russian-made wireless phones in the vicinity of the White House and other locations. That's a vague allegation, okay? Which Durham described as false. Okay, that's where there's actually something going on here, okay? They were using Russian-made wireless phones. Okay, that couldn't be backed up by the information found there. Okay, so now it's starting to make a little bit more sense as to connecting the campaign to Russia. Okay, that makes sense. Not Trump's campaign, rather. I should clarify that. The Clinton campaign to Russia. Okay. Our special counsel's office has identified no support for these allegations, Durham wrote. Indeed, more complete DNS data that the special counsel's office obtained from a company that assisted Tech Executive One in assembling these allegations reflects that that such DNS lookups were far more rare in the United States. After Durham's court filing was unsealed, Trump on February 12th issued a statement claiming it provided indisputable evidence his campaign and office were being spied on by the Democrats in a bid to connect him to Russian government. That's what that shows, okay? Indisputable. Well, that's he didn't, at least Durham, in what is being described there, didn't leave any weasel room. So it was pretty much they were looking at the data that was there and making false allegations in order to just somehow connect Trump to Russia in order to run with that narrative, okay? Oh, he was collaborating with Russia because he used Russian phones. Doesn't much matter. He was collaborating with something from Russia, ergo, in Putin's back pocket. Yeah, but what? What about that memo? Okay, what about the explicit admission that Hillary Clinton was working with Russia in order to spy on Trump, okay? That was written to Lindsey Graham from the Department of Homeland Security in the beginning of 2020. Okay, like we've known this shit for a while, but here's some of the receipts, okay? But Jesus Christ, if this took him, the guts of 2 years in order to figure out. Okay, but again, all of the people that made apparently a lot of money on the back of Marussiagate, okay? Why weren't they covering any of this stuff? It seems, okay, it's not a lot, to be fair, okay? And like I said at the beginning, it's not quite the bombshell that anybody should be expecting to begin with, but why didn't they talk about any of this stuff? It was just like that lockdowns were not effective at all, unless you think that 0.2% of perceived mortality was worth, fucking everything up over the past 2 years, but they ignored that. And now they're going to ignore the Durham campaign, or the Durham probe, sorry. Republicans seized on recent court filings submitted by Special Prosecutor John Durham that alleged that Clinton campaign and Democratic National Committee tried to infiltrate the Trump campaign and White House servers, arguing that mainstream news outlets are avoiding covering Durham's findings. Yeah. I guess you could theoretically argue this isn't everything that's come out so far, but at least that seems newsworthy, don't you think? Tech company hacked the White House and spied on a sitting president, one that was funded by the Clinton campaign and the Democratic National Committee. But you know what? Hey, just to be fair, though, it should concern everyone, but the mainstream media refuses to cover it. The legacy media, let's be fair, they are barely mainstream at this point. There was spying going on, and it was worse than we thought because they were spying on a sitting president of the United States at the White House and at Trump Tower. So, I don't know. Jordan told Fox and Friends on Monday, and it goes right to the Clinton campaign. A lawyer, on the Clinton campaign. Okay. Was it done at the direction of the Clinton campaign? Yeah, again, this is why you're not going to see the fucking perp walk from a midget in a pantsuit, okay? It's because you can't bridge those gaps, okay, based on what we found there. We know Michael Sussman did some shit, okay? Now, what happens to him? He might be the sacrificial lamb and all of this stuff. But does it go any further than that? Impossible to really know. Durham's motion Friday was connected to a lawyer, Michael Sussman, a former Perkins Coie lawyer who was charged last year with lying to the FBI when he allegedly told the Bureau that he wasn't working for the Clinton campaign in 2016 when he gave the agency's now debunked documents that allegedly linked the Trump organization to a Russian bank. Sussman has denied wrongdoing and pleaded not guilty in the case. Michael Turner of Ohio, representative, said Sunday that the investigations uncovered a new level of corruption and raises grave concerns. New levels of corruption, I don't know, just kind of backs up what the claims initially were saying. It's like Sussman lied. It's like, how did he lie? Well, he was doing all of this monitoring, so is it any more corrupt than anything? Yeah, I don't really know. I mean, this is a threat to our democracy itself. Let's not double down too hard on this, okay? We don't want to end up making this whole Durham probe into the, what's his nuts there? The other old fucking crispy bastard. Mueller. There we go. The Robert Mueller probe, okay? So what do we have so far? He was looking at raw data and making vague accusations. Okay, that's what we have so far. Let's not get too hyperbolic on this shit. It doesn't really matter which political campaign this or which political party this is. This is so wrong, and allegations of such a level of illegal activity that goes directly to our faith and our government that the truth must be found. Oh my God, why don't you just make a committee about it? But again, this guy's in custody already, so if we don't get anything else from this Durham probe, okay. Yeah, Clinton was the one colluding with the Russians the entire time. More news at 11. Like, what new are we getting from this, okay? So from the guy who wrote that initial note, okay, John Ratcliffe, okay, the former, the DNI head. Did I say DHS before? Okay, I meant DNI, okay? He was the head of he was the director of national intelligence, okay? He was the guy who was lording over all of these alphabet agencies. He knew what the fuck was going on. He probably knows where all the bodies are hidden. And he is once again just offering a base take, because it's been a minute since I've heard this guy speak. Ex-director of national intelligence claims Biden and Obama knew about Hillary Clinton, a plot to hack Trump servers. Yeah, okay, this was probably discussed at the same time that they were colluding against Michael Flynn, but enough evidence in Durham's Russia probe to indict multiple people. Yeah, not the ones that you want to see, just, the people who probably did the shit on the ground, not the guys who were actually pulling the string. Trump-era Director of National Intelligence John Ratcliffe said Joe Biden and Barack Obama knew Hillary Clinton. They knew. I was trying to hack into Trump's servers and tried to find links to the Kremlin. Yeah, they probably suggested Russia as the target. Ratcliffe said former CIA Director John Brennan told Obama and the then President and Vice President Biden in 2016 about allegations Clinton was trying to fabricate Trump's links to Russia to distract from the scandal over her deleted emails. Yup. Former DNI also told Fox News Digital on Monday that there was enough evidence to indict multiple people in the special counsel John Durham's probe into the origins of the Russia investigation into ex-President Donald Trump, or Donald, if you work for Daily Mail. It follows Durham's bombshell claims at illegal filings over the weekend that Clinton's campaign paid the firm to target Trump Tower and create fake scandal while he was still in office. Yep. So they didn't stop. They were still trying to find any information on connecting Trump to Russia. And what did they come up with? Wireless Russian phones that didn't exist. Oh, okay, cool. Just to wrap this up, because I've been saying that, Ratcliffe was the one who made all this stuff public to begin with, but Clinton allegedly approved in 2016 election a plan concerning U.S. presidential candidate Donald Trump and Russian hackers hampering U.S. elections as a means of distracting the public from the use of her private email server, according to the CIA counterintelligence operational lead, first revealed in the heavily redacted version, became declassified in October of 2020. Oh, okay, yeah, that's when I reported it. I said early 2020, but yeah, no, it was October 2020. Just kind of went under the radar, but I remember covering it. It was one of the first bigger videos that was on my channel because because that information, just like this Durham probe, just not getting any coverage at all whatsoever. But what's come out so far from the Durham probe, again, it's kind of like you've been promised a beautiful fireworks display at the 4th of July, but it's an asshole out there with 2 fucking Roman candles. Ooh, cool. It's nice, but until we get a wrap on this entire thing, I'm not gonna go outside, start running and saying that the sky's falling, that corruption is literally everywhere. We got other people to point out, like Trudeau, if we want to be making these claims. But we'll be back tomorrow, probably talking about the truckers, and hopefully in a little bit more of a truncated fashion. And as for the rest of this shit, who fucking knows? The world is evolving at a rapid pace, and I'm happy to be here. Hopefully you are as well. With that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.